Now what the hell is going on
I
here?
love when you pretend to like my coffees.
What the hell is going on here?
After 23 years, you're the only girl I've wanted to open up to.
What the hell is going on here? This is too much.
I love the way we all love you, and Will wants to let you know.
Jessie, I do. I really do love you.
What the hell is this, man? I'm tired. What is this episode? What the hell is going on here?
And we've got more Love Island shaped treats for you next on EP32. This time, Jordan Stevens, Joe Garrett, and Bella Masana.
The groveling stage, guys, of Casa begins. The groveling stage of post Casa begins. All the couples are returning again, and we're seeing this happen like it happened in the last 2 seasons. And personally, I'm just over it. Hey guys, it's Rob. Hope you guys are all doing well today. Back again is daily and consistent content injected. And let's get straight into this video. Before I do, I just want to give a quick thanks to everybody who tuned into my interview with Zita. Nearly 100,000 views. Thank you guys so much. It was an epic interview, and I really like interviewing people, contestants, especially Islanders, post their seasons, because there's so much reflection and depth that you can reach. So shout out to everybody who tuned into that. I really appreciate it. Now let's get into this episode where, you know, we have the post Casa Amor, the poems. It's giving Millie and Liam, guys. That's what it's giving, Millie and Liam, where Liam wrote a poem for Millie, and then unfortunately, you know, or unfortunately she got with him and they won the show, so fortunate for her. But, you know, Tom's done the same thing for Sammy, and of course Sammy was gushing and, you know, was blushing, and, you know, Tom was very happy with the fact that, you know, this took place. And again, I feel like a poem, like writing 6-7 lines and suddenly, you know, your girl can forget that you were often with somebody else is just wild to me. But I'm sure in Love Island, in the villa, it is very intense, and therefore emotions are at an all-time high. But I genuinely thought Sammy would have been the girl to break the Love Island curse, which is going on in the last couple seasons, where, you know, you don't go back to your couple and you just stand tall on your own. I thought that she was going to be that girl. She was gearing that way. She was very upset. It was also on her birthday, I believe, as well. So it was a lot for her to deal with. But she's out of the doghouse, as she says, and these two are back on it. Now, same thing happened with Will and Jesse. The fact that all the Islanders were standing in that one line, reading one line out. I don't know why you guys were doing that. Like me, I would have just sat there and be like, listen, I'll watch you guys, but I'm not going to be reading out things. It doesn't make any sense. Jesse, he was crying with no tears. Jesse, he was really upset. Jesse, he was really frustrated with the whole situation, is now suddenly back on with Will, and these two are A-okay. This is what we're seeing now, guys. The villa couples are just coming back together again. Now, this obviously, in a way, it's good news for them, because it puts them back in pole positions to obviously, you know, be in the finale, be in the top 3, be in the top 2, and even win the show. Because those two couples, Sammy and Tom, and Will and Jesse, had they not forged back together again, Lana and Ron would have taken the cake 110% when it came to the, you know, winnings. And it looks like that might still be the case, or maybe Hearts can win Will over again, and I feel like they will. I feel like he was somebody who was sorry, apologetic, and, you know, really wanted to get back on terms with Jesse. He realized he effed up, and he looked like he was genuinely remorseful. So, you know, that's what Jesse's done. She's accepted it and taken on. I am really like a pendulum with Jesse. One minute I'm like, you know what, this girl is really forcing it, comes across rehearsed, I'm not buying it. I was saying that for the first half of the season. Then during Casa Amor, I was like, you know what, maybe she is genuine real, because she's staying loyal to him, even though she knows how the game works. Then I'm back on that way again, because it's like, you've been very emotional, but there's no tears. And it just looks very confusing, and it's been consistent. You've cried 4-5 times with no tears. It's not like it's just once, you know, so it is quite confusing. But lest we forget, during season 5, Molly May was getting very emotional. We didn't see much tears and we were confused by it, but she proved us wrong. So, you know, Jessie could be the same thing. I feel like, is she faking her emotions, or is our perception limited of how we are viewing her emotions? Because we are seeing it on a TV show, and perhaps there are times which is genuine. There are people who do cry and can't have tears on the real spot, but they're still feeling that urge and pain. So, you know, it can work either way, to be honest with you. But I don't like the idea of Islanders coming back ever, because you know the game. You've played the game. You've been in a villa. You know about the cameras around you, the structure, what to do, what not to do. You have that edge sword. You have that advantage, which I feel like is unfair. And that is always going to be at the back of my mind when it comes to any islander that returns, no matter how genuine or not genuine they are. They know how the game works, whether it works in their favor, like Adam and Jesse, or not, like Aaron, who literally just zoomed back to Australia, child, and said, I'm done with this. So he didn't even do any interviews. He was just like, I'm out. So, you know, it could really go either way. That's just how the pendulum really sways. And, you know, I just find it quite confusing when islanders come back and, you know, you're like, are you into them? Are you not? I don't know what's going on. Tanya breaks down, she gets emotional, she starts crying. That I can understand because, you know, you've got two boys, you're 50-50, you don't know what to do, they're both in the villa, tension's running around, you're also in a position where you're feeling stressed, and therefore she's seeking out advice from the girls. Martin is not liking it. I feel like Martin is playing his cards wrong. He should not be sitting here being upset with Tanya because you're only going to push her away. You should be showering her with love. And that's what I feel like she should be doing, but she wasn't doing that. He wasn't doing that, sorry. And if anything, Shaq is still feeling her. Is Shaq going to be like for the fact that he went back to somebody who said, I love you, and then came out with somebody else? Who knows, guys? But again, emotions are high. And Shaq and Tanya have a higher chance of reaching the finale together than they do separately. So that is also in the back of their minds. But of course, Tanya still has feelings for Shaq. And Martin is not liking that in any way possible. He's finding it annoying. He doesn't like the fact that she's doing that. And I think it's pushing her away. And I get his point because he's like, well, you brought me back. The vibes have changed and it's off for me. It's uncomfortable for me. I don't know what to do. I keep my voice more so in my head and my thoughts in my head, but I'm trying to project it. But I think it's pushing her away. But there's definitely some kind of tension going on between them for sure. So let me know in the comments who you prefer Tanya with, Shaq or Martin. But you know, these couples are climbing together again, and it's giving. There isn't that many Casa people in the villa for them all to be dumped. They're in this season. That is something that is different. It's only Maxwell and Sunham. And both of them are coupled up anyways. So it doesn't look like that could be the case. Kai, I feel like I'm seeing a different Kai today. I don't know about you guys, but I'm warming up to Kai in some weird way that I didn't really expect. But he was basically standing in his foot and he's like, yes, sir, I'm not apologizing to Olivia. I've done nothing wrong. I don't need to speak to her in that way or, you know, crawl to her. For what reason? It doesn't make any sense. Sanam is like, please do something because the tension is crazy for me and it feels uncomfortable and I don't like the drama. But he's standing down on what he feels like is appropriate. And I, you know, can see where he's coming from and I agree with it because Olivia doesn't really have a leg to stand on. She obviously likes the guy, which is why she's upset. But you also brought somebody back. And I feel like that's just not going through her mind. She doesn't understand that. So her mind is definitely still with Kai in some kind of level. And, you know, we'll just see what happens with her and Maxwell. I think she knows deep down that even her journey with Maxwell isn't as strong than her with Tom or Kai. And she needs to be with somebody for a while. I think she knows how the game works as well. I feel like she's just been given this main character edit and it's just not working. It's not working. I don't think the audience have forged a relationship with her. They're not really comfortable with her. They don't like the way she's moved with the other ex-girls who've left the villa. And it's just not working in that way. So, you know, I feel like some of the things she says, she doesn't stand behind it. She said she's a girl's girl to Sanam. She hasn't proven that in the, you know, with the past girls as well. She is confused about what Sammy's doing with Tom, but then is happy for them as well. So, you know, to me, it's just very confusing. Very confusing. But the finale is drawing soon. And I feel like the Love Island winter couples are coming back together again for that reason. So we'll see how this goes when it comes to these couples. We'll see how it goes when it comes to Will and Jesse. I feel like they're definitely back together again. It's going to be fine. In the finale, I see Ron and Lana. I see Will and Jesse. I see Tom and Sammy. I see these three couples definitely in that top three, and there's one more couple for the top four, and that could be Shaq and Tanya. But then again, Olivia's been getting this main character edit, child, so we don't know. She might even be there as well. And then what about Kai with Sanam? So it is interesting. I don't know who the fourth person would be. I don't know what your perceptions of the finale. Comment down below as well as the top four couples that you think are going to make it in this finale, but it's looking like it's going to be these. But this post groveling that these guys are doing, I'm over it. It's cheesy. It's forced and it's predictable. We've seen it in the last 2 seasons, and I would like to see something different where they don't go back to their couples. Yes, it leaves them vulnerable for a bit, but it would be nice to see that so that somebody else would come in there for them. That is what I'd like to see, and I find it to be frustrating when the post groveling. It's just like, ugh, like we know what's going to happen. It's the cheesy poems, the cheesy declarations that suddenly now these guys have such clear, you know, sight of what they want, and they had to go and move to other girls to find that sight. And it's like, if you like somebody, you don't need to be tested in this way. And this test seems to be a reoccurring theme for this whole situation. I feel like it was a powerful Casa Amor episode. It definitely got me hyped up a couple of days ago, but the hype is definitely going down for me because they're just going back to the couple. So it's like, what was the hype for? Then you also have Casey and Claudia, who I've completely forgotten about. And I feel like because Claudia's dad is famous, they probably want to keep it in there for a while. That definitely is a valuable asset to have in this day and age when it comes to the show. If your mum or dad is famous in some kind of way, and I feel like her dad won I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out Here in 2014, that is on ITV anyways, you do definitely want to keep their daughter or something like that in the competition for a while. So that could also cause ripple effects for how that could interfere with the finale and the top 4. So let me know thoughts are when it comes to episode. If you guys watched it, a little delayed. I was watching After Sun. In this day and age with this season, After Sun is more enjoyable for me. To be honest with you, I like India as an old islander on the show. I feel like she has good presenting skills, the way she's bouncing off and back, interviewing these Casa Amor people. I think that is definitely great to see, and it shows that she has future prospects in the presenting world, and that is what I want to see for her continuing on, whether it be on ITV or not, to presenting stuff, because I feel like she's doing very well when it comes to working with Maya. And I love Sam Thompson. I feel like he's great with the lines, his own poem that he read as well. All these three click. They're a great trio, and I feel like After Sun to me is more watchable and enjoyable than the actual show, and that I never really expected, because I normally don't end up watching After Sun. Let me know your thoughts are. I feel like Maya should have taken over the Caroline Flack, rest in peace, off the bat. I don't think Whitmore should have been in the middle, but of course, you know, it is what it is. But I think that Maya should have been there straight away. So we'll just see what happens when it comes to these couples in the finale. Subscribe to the channel, let me know your thoughts are, comment down below, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.